welcome back to the program. We're in studio now with another candidate here for the 2012 Mohawk Council of Kahnawake elections. In studio with us right now is Keith White. Welcome, Keith. How you doing?
No, not too bad. Yourself?
Not bad, not bad. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I have a business in town. It's located in the middle of town, the Dairy King.
Mm-hmm.
If you want ice cream, stop by. Other than that, everybody pretty much knows me.
Okay. Who are your parents? What's your family? Things like that. A little bit of a background.
My father's Keith White. His parents were Peter White, Lily White.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's Dale Lahesh.
Okay.
Her parents are Kenneth Lahesh, Irene.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that we ask those questions, right? It's like we need to know.
Everybody knows each other.
Yeah, everybody knows each other. Since it's the way that we place each other around here. Who's your family? Who's your mother, father? So, why are you running for chief?
There's a few things I want to improve. I like this. I kind of like the systems that are already in place, but I see a lot of room for improvement that ain't getting done.
Okay.
I want to try and find to see if there's any funding available for these things.
Mm-hmm. Like?
Well, my main concern is the Elders Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's been working there close to 30 years, and I see the kind of things that need to be done, and they're not done because there's no funding.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that funding across the board, not just at the Elders Lodge per se, but across the board in Kahnawake is a big issue?
Yeah, funding is a big issue across Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the States, it's not just Canada. Like, everybody goes down the poop chute, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. What do you think will make you a good leader?
I don't know what would make me a good leader. I would just like to try and help the community.
Mm-hmm. How so?
Well, I want to find different possible revenues for these improvements I want to make. I also am a big I like small businesses, and I want to see if I could promote those. Like David Donizak that does an awesome job. Like I was saying on the radio earlier this week, they do really good. They helped me a lot with my business, and I think it would help the community a lot to open small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in this community for kids. Like growing up, like we had arcades, we had the bookstores,
Right.
And you look now, there's nothing. We got a park here and there. Nobody wants to go swinging all the time,
Mm-hmm.
There has to be more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that being a small business owner, you could contribute some of that experience to holding public office?
I see like problems that I ran into, and I want to try to help people like find the different revenues, because there are different avenues you could take for funding.
What are some of the things that in your background that you feel would make you a good leader?
My background?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty much the people that know me know who I am, and
like in terms of your experience or skill, things like that.
Well, I guess I don't know what would set me apart really. Like I said, I'm a small business owner. I'm an average person like you or anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
Just that I want to see the betterment of our town.
Right. If you were to get voted into the Mohawk Council, how would you be accountable to the people of Kahnawake?
In what way?
Well, how would you let them know what you're doing, and how would they have access to you? How could you update the community and reassure them that you're there and you're working for them?
Well, everything's accessible through the town minutes. Anybody who wants to know anything that goes on in any meeting could ask for the town minutes from council, and they have to give it. Mm-hmm. It's an accounting of everything that's said in those meetings. So that's public knowledge.
Right. How do you propose that, there's always been this blanket of doubt, that covers the Mohawk Council and the system, that political system. How could you change that as a chief?
Like, how would you want it changed?
Well, and, I think there's a lot of, over the years, if you're into politics, then you would know that, a majority of people in the community feel that the Mohawk Council could be transparent more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they are now, they could be more. They could always be more. And you're never going to satisfy everybody. So what would you do as a chief?
The only other way to be totally transparent is to actually have people sit in the meetings, but like I said, the minutes are taken.
Mm-hmm.
Everything said there is available.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally never ask for the minutes. I don't know if you do or anybody else ever does, you know.
Sometimes as a journalist, we have to.
But you see what I mean? Like,
yes.
Everything is there, though.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the confidentiality clause that the chiefs have to sign?
Well, there are certain aspects, I'm sure, that, like, there are names mentioned that can't be mentioned, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be some sort of confidentiality. Like, if you said something in confidence, you know, they can't disclose your name. It's
Mm-hmm.
confidentiality.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to sue them. They'd be liable, you know.
Right. So you think that it's fine to sign it, and some things should.
Some things,
Mm-hmm.
some things that would affect other people,
Mm-hmm.
like that has nothing to do with the community,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Private issues.
Yes,
But public issues.
public issues are on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is available.
Right. Okay. What part, besides the Elders Lodge, of the political sphere are you interested in most?
Well, that is what I'm interested in most, but there are things that are bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and jump on the file because it's already started, but I'd like to get into the justice section where they're talking about the marriages.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the exact what.
The matrilineal.
Yes, that one. I would like to try to get onto that file because it has to get pushed through. There is a time frame, and I know there's processes, but this has to get pushed through quick.
Why?
Well, we're going to be liable to the same laws as all of the province.
Mm-hmm.
And our town, I think, should have our own rules,
Mm-hmm.
laws. Like, we don't have the same values as the out-of-town province, you know?
Right.
We got raised differently.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see it the same way we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to their courts, I don't think they really favor us too well.
Mm-hmm. You know, in every justice system, there needs to be checks and balances in that justice system. And because Kahnawake is so, under development, how do you see that happening to do there so that there would be checks and balances in a system here that where everybody is so, knows each other?
Yeah, well, they have a good system, I think, going on right now. There hasn't been any real problems. The courts here are getting more and more recognized.
Mm-hmm.
Only recently, you know. Before, it wasn't like that. And the fact that the provincial government gave the option for us to make our own bylaws
Mm-hmm.
is proof of that, I think.
Did they give the option, or did we just say this is what we're doing? And hopefully you can recognize it.
Well, there has been problems, like people have been moving into town, having kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it is an ongoing thing, and they're probably just sick of everybody going to the out-of-town courts, and every time they say something, it gets overruled, you know, saying, no, this is going to wog it. They want us to have a law, I'm pretty sure, where we have protocols for this.
Mm-hmm. In this community, what would you say are some of the major issues that perhaps as chief and a chief with the rest of the council needs to work on?
Well, there's a major lack of funding in this town. Everything's underfunded right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's going to be so hard to find the funding.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find another avenue of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
The last big thing that was brought up was the casino, and it was turned down for the third time.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's done with. We got to find something new.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is, but everybody's going to have to get together and try to come up with one solid, good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because without funding, nothing's going to get done around here.
Right. Where did you sit politically on the casino? Were you pro or against?
It's hard. Like, the first time I voted, I was a no. Second time around, I wasn't too sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need the funding.
Mm-hmm.
We really needed the funding.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I see problems with no money coming in,
Right.
especially with decreasing budgets.
Right. What kind of industry do you think would be viable here in Ganawage besides the casino issue?
We have good viable industries. Some are contributing back to the community, but it's still not enough. We need something steady. And like I said, we're gonna have to either bring it up at the table, or we're gonna have to bring it up to a town meeting and come up with good solid ideas, but something has to get done within the next few years. Because each year there's less and less money. The economy's not doing good, which means they're not doing good. We're at the bottom of the list for handouts.
In your opinion, what kind of politics do you follow? Are you more into a traditional approach where there's consensus, or are you more into the party politics?
Well, I'm more into, we come up with something, then it has to get brought up to a town meeting kind of idea.
Okay.
I don't know where that would fall into your category.
Well, I mean, it sounds more of a traditional approach to consult the people, whereas with party politics, you have, different...
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're going to have to all come up with an idea, and when we think we found a good one, it still has to get brought to the community. And it's hard, because a lot of people don't trust the council. But all I got to say is, because of the problem, at least listen. You don't have to agree, just listen. Because we got to find ways of making money.
I mean, and that's something that's on the agenda of the Mohawk Council. There was a lot of debate this year about economic development, government cutbacks, land issues, gas tax. Education is going through a lot right now. What of all those issues, which one piques your interest the most, and what would you do to help it flourish? Well,
as for education, my idea for it is, like, when we were getting it, we were fully funded. Now I got some friends saying that they get partial funding, which is kind of hard on them. And to make it worse, now some people were telling me that our school is having hard to be recognized. You know what I mean? The recognition of the diploma.
The diploma, yeah.
So it's all getting harder for everybody. I'm like, where'd you go to school? And they're like, some places do recognize it. Like, I know back when I went to school, John Abbott recognized it, Dawson recognized it. But I really don't know how those schools stand up nowadays.
Okay. Is there anything else you think is important to add, or they want the community to know before they head out to vote on July 7th?
Well, pretty much what they want to ask me, they could ask me on candidates night.
Okay.
I'll be there, and I'll be talking, and I'll be open for questions for everybody.
If people wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do it?
I'm at the ice cream store all the time.
Okay. So from 9 to 3, or?
Yeah, till 3 o'clock.
Till 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
And then any time after that, Facebook or?
Well, yeah. But I prefer not Facebook.
Yeah.
But
more of a professional, personal approach.
I'm there till 3 every day. I'm on the middle of the highway. Everybody passes by every day. You want to talk? I talk to everybody. I'm always on the highway waving to everybody.
I know, I see you. Well, thank you very much for coming in studio, and good luck on July 7th. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you for staying tuned with us, but we have more here on Mohawk TV's 2012 election coverage with the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. Stay tuned. We have one more candidate coming in for this show. Christine Zachary Dion will be joining us, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.